Hey y'all, always good to see you here on Grassroots Gardening. I'm Ryan, and I am just happier than I can be seeing this flower right behind me. Reason being is, when this winter blooming jasmine blooms, which it's doing right now, that means that spring is right around the corner. And I seriously dislike winter. I'm trying not to use the word hate, but I seriously dislike it. So this just makes me happier than a pig in slop to see this flower right now. It just opened up about 2 or 3 days ago. So this is winter blooming jasmine, or Jasminum nudiflorum. And nudiflorum meaning naked flower, I guess, if you were to translate it literally. And obviously the plant is bare, so it's naked, but it's flowering, and that's how it gets its name. It's from China and areas of Tibet. It's a beautiful, beautiful flower. It's great for erosion control, which I'm going to show you in just 1 second here. We're on a very steep bank. It's a great shrub for poor soils and also just helping with erosion control, like I said. So let's jump right in here. Let me show you guys this plant, tell you all about it. And also we're going to propagate it a little bit in order to further encourage it spreading along this bank here. So stay tuned, it's going to be a pretty cool one. So as y'all can tell by me climbing up that bank right there, this thing is a steep bank. This is probably a 2-to-1 slope, really steep. I had to put a tremendous amount of mulch on it just to keep it stabilized. So what I want to happen is for this jasmine to just encompass the whole bank. And this is the perfect plant to do it because it can handle pretty poor soil, which is what we got here. Just kind of a sandy loam. But the great thing about this plant is it walks. And so I'll show you in just a second here what I'm talking about. But this plant, as the branches go out, they actually, when they touch the ground, they'll root and they just kind of jump and walk, if you will. And they'll cover this whole entire bank. So we're outside the house right now, right beside the aviary. Aviary. I was going to say aviary area. That's really hard. Anyway, the aviary up there, and then the retaining wall for the bunker is right there. And this thing is really a steep bank. Hopefully the video will do it justice, but it's probably about a 2-to-1 bank there. Just look at these beautiful yellow flowers. And this thing will just cover itself, very similar to a forsythia, which I've got a forsythia right there. That one is yellow bells. A lot of people know it as its common name. It gets much more upright, but it'll cover itself in yellow flowers as well. But this thing is just ready to just bust wide open. And here's an example of, I was talking about it walking. You can see these branches have came from the center and they've gone down into the ground, just by themselves. You can assist in that by covering with dirt or mulch, but they'll do it by themselves anyway. So the branch will go down, and I'm pulling on this, but it is rooted in really, really well. So what we're going to do is cut it loose from the mother plant, and then we're going to dig this plantlet up, and then we can transplant it. And it's a really economical way to cover this whole bank, because if you're patient enough, you can just take these plantlets as the plant's walking and you can move them to wherever you want. So it's a really, really cool plant. Get about 4 feet tall. Let's see if I can back up a little bit here. It kind of just mounds up. It just kind of sprays almost grass-like. Get up to about 4 feet tall. Now you could train this thing up on whatever and turn it into a vine. Probably get about 10 to 15 feet tall, but you'll have to really help it because its natural habit is just kind of to cascade, root, cascade, and root. Great, great, great for this exact location right here. In time, when it covers this bank, we won't have to worry about weeds. We won't have to worry about erosion. It's just forms a really, really thick mat, ideal for banks. I've seen it even growing along streams. Really, just a beautiful plant. I think it's really underutilized, in my honest opinion. All right, y'all, as I mentioned, we're going to come in here and cut the branches going down to the plantlet, and you can tell which ones are feeding it, because I mean it's rooted in there pretty good. So we'll just come in and prune her up a little bit. And these are the vines that have been supporting the plantlet, but now I guarantee you it's got roots of its own, so we can disconnect the umbilical cord, so to speak, and then we can come in here and make us a whole new plant, or actually just move a whole new plant. It's already made itself. We just kind of have to gently come down in here and find the root system. Looks like it's running back this way a little bit. And I can feel the roots and hear the roots popping loose. Oh yeah. And so looky here. That is formed. Here we got two plants here. A little guy with a great root system, very healthy, and then a larger one with a nice big root system here. Now we can take these and go plant them in different areas wherever we want, and we've got a whole new winter blooming jasmine. So got you guys off the tripod to bring you down here to show you just a little bit more in depth. So this vine right here, you can kind of follow it, goes all the way back to the base of the mother plant. And what it's done, let me zoom in so I can show you. Right there, that's where it probably first touched the ground, and then it's put out roots from there. Let me see if I can do the camera job and pull this up at the same time. And they really root themselves in there, but look at that. So that is still attached to the mother plant. And so we'll simply just take our Felcos here, come about 8 inches up from the root system, cut it loose, and look at there. Whole new winter blooming jasmine. Easy as that. Yeah, that's a free plant, and she's got loads of them. There's no telling how many I could come in here and remove off of this one plant. So like I said, very economically friendly plant. If you just have a little bit of patience, you can make hundreds from one plant. Pretty cool. I love this shrub, mainly just because I know it's the flower that welcomes spring, and that just does it for me right there. That's enough. That's all I need, because it is just it won't be long now, and we're gonna be really doing some planting, y'all. Okay, y'all, went and grabbed my biotone. So now what I'm gonna do, we're on the same ridge as where the mother plants are, and I want to plant them up high. That way it'll encourage them to go down and root, and then keep jumping and walking their way down this slope. So as I stated before, we've got kind of some sandy, loamy soil. It's not very rich, but these things are very forgiving and very adaptive of a wide range of soils. And I should mention too, this is going to be in just a little bit more shade. Still going to be what I would consider a full sun, or I guess part shade environment, because it's getting afternoon time. And as you can see, the sun's still on my face, but right here is going to be in the shade. And so the downside of they will grow in like some pretty intense shade, but you're going to get less flowers just due to the fact the plant can't make enough energy to really flower proliferously like those guys are over there. But still plenty of sun right here to where I think it'll be just fine and still flower its head off. Okay guys, so we've got our plantlets here, and this is like super easy. This has got a great root system on it. So we're just going to shove that down. We're going to plant it at the same depth as where we dug it up, where we excavated it. And you can tell that kind of right here. Hopefully the camera will cooperate. But anyway, you can see where it's wet and where it was buried up to, and then all this bark here is dry and been exposed to the elements. So we're going to plant him back up to right there. But really easy. Anybody can do this. Add some biotone just like we always do. Get those roots covered. And I'm simply just going to backfill with our native soil, and this thing will do just fine. Now we're going to want to water it in, so I'll drag the hose around here and water the roots. But then I'm also going to water around the whole entire thing. You know, I always try to preach that, because we want, if we just watered it right there forever, and obviously it never rained, if we just watered right there, then the roots have no desire, no need really, to go out into the native soil and establish themselves and find their own water. And so when we water in the whole area, that encourages those roots to go ahead and go out, and the bigger the root system, the healthier the plant's going to be, and the better chance of survival during drought or stress. That we're increasing those tenfold by having this plant established and well rooted. And it's as simple as that. For winter blooming jasmine, dig it up, cut it from the mother plant, throw a little biotone in the whole planter. I'll water it in, and then we'll bring some mulch in and mulch around it to keep that root system nice and moist down there, also to help any weeds coming up and you know, stealing energy or competing with this plant. And then this thing's just going to mound up right here, and then it's going to run right on down the bank and sideways every which way. I will say that if you're going to prune this plant, we'll want to do it in here probably about a month after it's done, completely done blooming. We can come in and you can prune it as hard as you want. I mean, you can prune it back to just a couple inches of stem, and then it will just flush out, get bushier. All depends on what you want and the ease of access to the location. Like once this thing establishes itself along this bank, it's gonna be really hard to get in there and prune, because it's really steep, and it's just gonna be, I mean, it's gonna be just like briar-like almost. Not that it'll have thorns, but you know, its growth habit's just gonna be crazy thick. And that's what makes it so beneficial for erosion control, because when all these plantlets, you can imagine, when all the branches hit the ground and root, there's no way the soil can go anywhere. But really cool plant. One of my favorites, and again, we know spring is close, which just excites the heck out of me. I can't wait. Well, I hope you found some useful content here in this video. If you did, now would be a great time, if you don't mind, to hit that like and subscribe down there. We appreciate it way more than you know. Drop me a comment if you have any questions, if there's something I missed, or if you just have an idea, or if there's a plant that I have, you know, within driving distance, or we have at the nursery. You know, drop me a comment or question about it, or let me know if you want a video on it. I'll be happy to do that. We do have one cool thing upcoming. I'm going to TPIE in Tampa. So that's the Tropical Plant International Expo, I think is the acronym. Anyway, awesome plant show. So I'm going to video the whole thing, going to take you guys with me. We're going to fly out of Augusta. That's next week. I think we leave on Thursday. So hit that notification bell down there, and then it'll let you know whenever I post a new video, because that one is definitely in the plans and coming up soon. And I'm excited to go to Tampa because it's nice and warm there. But it's a beautiful day here today too. So I think I'm going to go kick around the yard a little bit more. And appreciate you guys very much learning with me and growing with us. And always remember, the more you know, the more you grow. See you guys on the next video. Bye, y'all.